We cannot deny that the use of smartphone in students become mandatory in today's digital era and has many impacts, starting from the positive impact and negative impact. So, if a student can use his smartphone or her smartphone in the right way, the positive impact can outweigh the negative impact because the students can develop their knowledge by using the smartphones. From a journal, I agree with what has been written by Faheem Shakoor, Ayesha Fakhar, and Jawad Abbas. The journal title is The Impact of Smartphone Usage on the Learning Behavior and Academic Performance by the Students. And in fact, with the use of smartphones, students are more able to improve their academic achievement by using the smartphones, because on the smartphone students can search what they don't know or what knowledge they will know by looking for answers via Google, online articles, online journal, or electronic book on the internet. So let me tell you about the smartness. From the journal, research and findings show that about 80% students agree that they use smartphone for searching information, and 70% strongly agree the point that smartphones can improving their academic and it makes easier their program and their tasks. But 40% agree that using smartphone can disrupt their learning in the class by lecture because of the notifications from the smartphones.
1. The use of smartphones by students has positive and negative impact. The impact can be seen from the social behavior of students. It can be seen that there are changes in social behavior, social relationship, and aggressive behavior. The use of smartphones for students in the school environment has a positive impact, namely making it easier to find sources of learning material, making it easier to communicate with friends and other people. While the negative consequence affect health or radiation, wrong association, and especially addiction. 2. Yes, I agree with the author. 3. Of the universities around the world that use smartphones, this is the maximum user who are between 20 to 30 years old. Most of them are students and they are early adopters of these technological devices in developing countries like South Asia and beyond. The results and findings show that about 80% of students agree that they use smartphones to search for information, and almost 70% of students strongly agree that smartphones help students to improve their academic performance and they complete projects and assignments efficiently. Many of them strongly agree that by using smartphones, they have more control over their studies and make it easier for them to complete their task.
Hi, my name is Ririn Puji Rahayu from the 2nd grade Islamic Guidance and Counseling Study Program E. The first point is the journal of good and bad side of social media in students. In the digital era like today, everyone currently needs a smartphone, including students. Students at this time to always be updated on the news of what is happening. In order not to miss the news, students take advantage of the sophistication of smartphone to access information anywhere and anytime. And the negative effect of having a smartphone if it is not used wisely is that students become people who are lazy to student because the smartphone makes it easily for students to access the internet so that students do plagiarism. Next, in my personal opinion, I agree with what has been written by a journal entitled Impact of Smartphone Use on Student Learning Behavior and Academic Performance, Faheem Shakoor, Ayesha Fakhar, Jawad Abbas. With the use of smartphones, students are more able to improve their academic assessment by using smartphones because on smartphones, students can search for knowledge that is not yet known by looking for answers via Google, online articles, online journals, or books on the internet. Conclusion from the journal Impacts of Smartphones Usage on the Learning Behavior and Academic Performance of Students is according to the findings. About 80% of students agree that they use smartphones to search for information, and almost 70% of students strongly agree that smartphones help students in improving their academic performance and completing projects and assessment efficiently. On the other hand, 40% of respondents agree that smartphones interfere with their understanding during lecture. During their study hours, many students agree to use dictionary, calculator, and other tools. Smartphones are widely used by female students to browse social media sites, blogs, and follow fashion trends. Students' reaction patterns also differ depending on their age and semester. The majority of people in the 25 to 30 age group say that using Wikipedia, YouTube, and Google to learn
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Azizah from class 2A Islamic Guidance and Counseling Study Program. Here I will give my opinion about the impacts of smartphone. I think that news about the impact of smartphone is certainly increasingly important and for students. It is an academic and learning period because it provides relevant information and data. But on the other hand, some students smartphone to use social media application to socialize with other her friends. The news about the impact of smartphone, yes, I agree, because with the development of smartphone, certainly supporting learning and teaching program in the school or academic. And news about the impacts of smartphone use on learning behavior, that some students use it to find information and with relevant data. It said that it is also used for dictionaries and other application for studying. In the news also obtained namely addiction to smartphone, which is high in event that cause result and value what is bad, and then wasted of time and money and gossip about topics that are not useful. At this time, distance learning even though there are positive impact due to innovation and learning as well as negative impact, namely with internet connection disruption. Mention the positive and negative impact, we are good at using smartphone. That is my opinion. If there is something wrong in my word, I'm sorry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Aprilia Anggraini from class 2A Islamic Guidance and Counseling Study Program. I will give my opinion about the news of the use and effect of smartphone in students. In modern era and advanced technology, we often see children at the age of teenagers such as school children and even elementary school such as kindergarten, even though many are already using gadgets such as cell phones or tablets. The following are the positive and negative impacts of smartphone use on student. Positive impactnya, one, facilitate communication. For example, when parent or the family will pick up the children when they come home from school or finish doing activities outside the home. 2, encourage knowledge about technological development, because today this technology has penetrated to remote village. 3, expand the network of friendship. And then negative impactnya, lack of concentration, stress, low grades, lack of vision, and maybe cyberbullying. 2. Do you agree with the writer? Yes, I'm agree with the writer because this article highlights the positive aspect of smartphone use and student learning behavior has changed, more positively directed. Number 3, summarize what the writer says. Okay. This unique study carefully examined and analyzed the impact of smartphone on the student performance and their lifestyle learning behavior. This study discovers both the positive and negative results of this modern technological advancement. This research study concludes that the most of the students use smartphones to search of information and data, and most of the students use the dictionary, thesaurus, and several other tools like calculators and learning applications to learn new information contents. This finding highlights the positive aspect of the usage of smartphone and the learning behavior of students has changed and improved. Appropriate recommendations were made regarding this, like it's better to use a smartphone with the purposeful intention and strong motivation to use it positively and for better results. Maybe that's our review journal about impact of smartphone, and I think they're all. I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.